Hello, my name is Neil Thompson. I'm the founder of Teach the Geek. I work with technical professionals so they can present more effectively, especially in front of non-technical audiences. If you want to know more about that, you can go to teachthegeek.com. Again, that's teachthegeek.com. I'd like to go over 5 traits of an effective communicator. And a lot of the tips that I give come from the aspect of, or the vantage point of someone who's a technical person. I worked in medical devices for a number of years as an engineer, giving presentations in front of largely non-technical audiences. So in no particular order, the first trait is that they're listeners, which might sound counterintuitive when you're talking. What's listening have to do with it? Well, quite a bit. If you're communicating with people, it's really important that you listen to what they say so that you know what makes sense to say next. There have been so many instances in which I've heard somebody ask a question and the person communicating the answer answers a question that wasn't asked. And that's because they weren't doing a very good job of listening to what the person said. I often think that they maybe heard a few words in the question and just riffed off of those words as opposed to really listening to what the question is. That's number one. Be an active listener. Number two, you need to be open to feedback. To get better at anything, you need to be open to just criticism or positive or negative criticism from others to just get better at anything. When I give presentations in front of, when I used to give presentations in front of management, I would often seek out such feedback to make sure I'm communicating in such a way that the people I'm talking to can understand. It's a waste of time to just speak how I want to speak and the message isn't landing to the audience I'm speaking to. So being open to feedback is important. Number three, being empathetic towards your audience is highly important. When I gave presentations, I would often, at least when I first started giving them, I didn't think about the audience at all. I just thought about the information I wanted to convey. But I had to realize that as a technical person, if I'm talking to a non-technical audience, they're not technical. So they're not going to have the same level of expertise as me. And because of that, it wouldn't make sense to use a whole lot of technical jargon. They're not going to understand it. If I don't explain complex concepts, they're not going to understand it. And I have to have the empathy to know that I wasn't always in that position of being the technical person. I was once in their shoes. So if I'm going to give a presentation, I should give one that's more in line to the person I used to be as opposed to the person I am now, the non-technical person as opposed to the technical person. So have empathy for your audience. Number four is be respectful towards your audience. A lot of times I think people speak off the cuff when giving a presentation. They don't spend a whole lot of time preparing beforehand. And that's unfortunate because then the information comes out the way it does, and it may not come out in the best way. It may come out in a rambly way, and that's not respectful to the time of your audience. So I'm a big fan of practicing presentations beforehand so that you figure out the best way to convey the information in as clear and succinct a way as possible. Be respectful of your audience, especially their time. And then number five, it's being knowledgeable yet being humble. As a technical person, there certainly was a number of that technical expertise that I had, and I was confident in what I knew. But I was also humble enough to know that there was a lot that I didn't know. At least when I first started giving presentations, I was hesitant to admit when I didn't know, and I tried to make something up in the event that I didn't know. But every now and then I get called out on it, and you look foolish when you think when you say something when that isn't true. So I'm a big fan of being confident in what you know, but being confident, at least humble enough to say that you don't know. I'm just a fan of if you don't know, don't stay not knowing. Find the answer. And once you find the answer, then your presentations they improve because now you know more. So those are the 5 traits. Number one, be an active listener. Number two, be open to feedback. Number three, be empathetic towards your audience. Number four, be respectful of your audience. And number five, be confident in your knowledge, yet be humble enough to admit when you don't know. Hopefully that's been helpful. Again, I'm Neil Thompson, founder of Teach the Geek. I work with technical professionals so they can present more effectively, especially in front of non-technical audiences. And if you want to know more about that, you can go to teachthegeek.com. Again, that's teachthegeek.com. Take care and stay safe.